Hi, Coldstare here, thanks for stopping by. Today we're going to cover everything you need to know about completing the Discipline Priest Mage Tower Challenge. If you're not familiar with where the Mage Tower is located, you'll want to head to the Legion version of Dalaran and fly just east to the Broken Shore. Once you've reached Broken Shore, you want to speak with the NPC War Counselor Victoria and she will enter you into the scenario. To complete this challenge, you're going to have to defeat Tugar Blood Totem and Jormog the Behemoth. Each have their own unique mechanics, which we'll cover as the fight goes on. Go ahead and begin by getting Atonement applied to yourself, and we're going to go ahead and cast Purge the Wicked on both targets. From there, we're going to mostly focus on Tugar. He's going to begin casting Fell Burst on us. We need to interrupt that as often as we can, as it does a good chunk of our health. You also see that we have a debuff, Fell Shock on us. That's a ticking dot we need to dispel. Tugar is now going to start channeling Earthquake. This is going to make rocks start to fall from the ceiling, and at the same time Jormog's going to go underground. So what we now need to do is position ourselves near these rocks, because Jormog's going to start charging us. This is our chance to knock off those Fell-hardened scales that's making them take so much less damage. At the same time, we're going to use our Rhapsody. That's the talent that makes Holy Nova stack up to 20 times and do 400% more damage. That's perfect for taking care of the bile spitters that are coming up out of the ground. So when our Psychic Scream is on cooldown and Tugar's getting ready to cast a Fell Shock at us, what we can do is summon our Shadow Fiend, Fade, and the Shadow Fiend will then take one of Tugar's Fell Shocks for us. You'll notice Jormog has come back up from underground and he's going to start casting Sonic Scream at us again. We don't have a lot of CCs to handle Jormog, so the best way to mitigate the damage is to use Flash Heal on yourself. And the talent Protective Light makes us take 10% less damage for a short time. We're going to continue to burn down Tugar, continuing to lure Jormog through the rocks, knocking off those Fell-hardened scales, using Rhapsody to take out the bile spitters. Halo is a good cleave damage. Be very careful here, this was dangerous. If you get hit by Jormog while he's chasing you underground, it will stun you, and very often it happens while Tugar is casting his Fell Shock at you, so just be mindful of that. There's also Fell Surge totems that pop up randomly throughout the fight. You want to make sure you take those out, they die very easily. I usually just throw a Purge the Wicked on them, see right there. If it gets the cast off, it will fear stun you, I don't remember which one. So the challenge for Discipline Priests in this scenario is that they just don't have as many crowd controls as other specializations do. And the longer the fight goes on, the harder it becomes to control Tugar's Fell Burst. So what I had to do in this fight, normally you try and cleave Jormog and Tugar down together at the same time. When Jormog's up, you focus on him a little bit. When Jormog's underground, you then focus on Tugar until you just try and wear them down at the same time. But what I found was because of the lack of CC Discipline Priests have, that late into the fight, Tugar's Fell Shock, you'll miss one eventually, and it just begins to one-shot you. And if it doesn't, you have to use Power Word Barrier or something to survive it. So after about 6 or 7 wipes, I decided I was going to try and see if I could get away with just burning down Tugar. I don't think it was a bad idea, but I did make a pretty big mistake here that you'll see. So Tugar went down, but you'll notice Jormog still has 2 stacks of Fell-hardened scales on. That's not good. He's taking 20% less damage now, and he's also enraged, which means he's going to do a lot of damage to us. So that just put way more pressure on me as far as having to cycle through defensives properly and really doing the very best I could to damage him. So when you're in here, make sure you don't do like I did and pay close attention to the Fell-hardened scales. I'm usually really good about that. This time, I thought I had heard DBM or seen DBM announce that they were all off. Clearly, I was mistaken, but that's okay. We can still survive. Every time Sonic Scream goes out, you have to have a strong defensive up. Pair Protective Light with Desperate Prayer. You'll want to have Power Word Barrier up at some point. You can still do the Shadow Fiend Fade combo. We can interrupt with Psychic Scream. Just Rhapsody, something. Have some plan. Every time you get through a Sonic Scream, start thinking about the next Sonic Scream, how you're going to manage it. And if I didn't mention it before, this is of course when you're saving your drums, your potions, if you're using an on-use trinket, anything that's really gonna pump up that damage. Of course, power infusion. And yeah, now it's just about rinse and repeat, surviving, strong defensive every time. Also, another thing to keep in mind is that our expiation talent is making Mind Blast consume Purge the Wicked a little more quickly. So just keep an eye on that. And yeah, now we're in the home stretch here. Jormog is almost dead. Just don't panic, calm, cool, collected. You should always have something up. Yep, keep in mind there that we have the talent that makes Fade reduce the damage we're taking. And there it is. So congratulations, you did it. It wasn't too bad. It was certainly easier than in Shadowlands. In Shadowlands, this fight took about 15 minutes. It was a very long, drawn-out fight. So this one was a little bit more fun, moved a little bit faster. Here's a damage breakdown. Mind Blast, Penance, Purge the Wicked, they all did work. So yeah, hopefully I covered everything. If you have any questions, please let me know, and I'll try and respond to you. Otherwise, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in Azeroth. Bye!